And a warm welcome to Combank Stadium for the continuation of Pride celebration round and the home of a club designed to be inclusive of everyone in the diverse region of Western Sydney. Tonight, the Wanderers engage in a local scrap with the new boys from down the road in Macarthur FC. It's a derby, albeit not the derby. So it's not just Pride round, it's also local Pride round for these two. To the team news, 3 changes for the Wanderers. Adama Traore, of course, is suspended, so Tom Beadling moves across to left back. Marcelo returns after injury in the centre. Elsewhere, it's a first start for Milos Ninkovic since the Sydney derby back in November, as Oli Bozanic drops down to the bench. And Amor Layuni is rewarded for his goal and assist off the pine against Adelaide, with his first Wanderers start in place of Kusini Yengi. Milanovic, Yengi and Bozanic, all potential impact players off the bench. Yeni Mbakoto serves the second game of his 2-match ban. Now 3 changes for the Bulls as well. Tommy Uskok returns after suspension and takes over the captaincy, as Jonathan Aspro-Potamitis is relegated to the bench for the first time this season. Kieran Bacchus returns in midfield against his old club, with Danny De Silva expected to push further forward to fill the gap left by that season-ending injury to Ulysses Davila. And Al Hassan Toure moves to lead the line in place of Bachana Arabuli. Ali Ugla, another former Wanderer, makes his starting debut for the Bulls after an impressive cameo against the Jets last week. So off we go in Parramatta, just the 7th meeting between these two local rivals. And that win for the Wanderers here on New Year's Day stands alone as the Wanderers' solitary success. But they're probably slight favourites again here tonight. Daniel McBride, would you say?
Yeah, I would say, Simon. Good evening, everybody. I think the performance last week going forward, Amor Layuni in particular looked like a very good acquisition. With all the goal-scoring woes we've speaking about with Western Sydney, maybe they've found their answer there. On Macarthur's side, though, it's a real opportunity for them to step up as a team. Obviously, the loss of Uli Davila for the season give them an opportunity to bond, and it could galvanise them as a squad.
He will certainly be missed, a player of such quality. Of course, provider of goals and assists. Here's Al Hassan Toure at the point of the attack tonight, firing in the first shot of the game, which was easily blocked by the Wanderers back line. And for Craig Noon on the left, who's still without a goal, perhaps strangely this season, although has contributed 4 assists to the Bulls' cause. Forward it goes from Sushnia, pretty accurate release it was too, and Matt Miller will dart into the box. Here's Danny De Silva, he was just hustled out of it in the end, the Bulls midfielder, by Marcelo.
It was a nice run from Matt Miller down that right-hand side. Fine ball in, it's right in his path. See there, he can take it forward, skips into the box. Bulls' top goal scorer this season, right back.
Clare has kept the ball in, and a little threaded pass through has found Ninkovic, and a chance for Borrello. Goodness me, he's on fire at the moment. Brandon Borrello. It's his 20th A-League goal, his 7th of the season. He's turning into a real potent threat for the red and black.
Well, we spoke about him in the pre-match. Harvey Norman replay will show it's a ball inside that Milos Ninkovic gets onto the end of, and it's a great run, confidence, and here it is, the strike. 6 goals in 9 games now, and we're only 3 minutes into that 9th game. Wonderful ball from Ninkovic into the path, doesn't think twice. First time, across the goal, into the back of the net. Wonderful start for Western Sydney.
Well, all the talk this season has been about who's going to score the goals for the Wanderers. Brandon Borrello says, it's me. Clare galloping forward. He was caught there by Noon. Advantage played though, Borello. And they were in again there, the Wanderers, but for that intervention from Sushnia. And Clare was fouled in back play. And might need a bit of attention.
A great run from Clare. Brandon Borello held his run up on the right-hand side. That is a late challenge, and you can see the Western Sydney Wanderers playing, talking to the referee now saying, well, why is that not a yellow card?
Well, the VAR review has been called for. There was a tackle from behind by Craig Noon, and Kurt Hams has come across, and that angle doesn't look too clever, does it, from Craig Noon's point of view? He's raking down the Achilles of Gabriel Clare. He could be in a spot of bother here.
I think he's in trouble. You can see there he's late. He comes down with the studs on the back of the ankle, and Gabriel Clare is lucky that doesn't come away with anything worse as an injury.
What's the verdict here for Craig Noon? Yep, thought it might be. What a disastrous start for Macarthur. Already a goal down. Now they've got to play 85 minutes plus a man short.
Well, you couldn't ask for a worse start for Mile Sturjovski.
Now Nieuwenhof, Layuni crossing into a dangerous area. Malfitano was looking to sneak in on the blind side of Miller. They'll recycle it, Western Sydney. Schneiderlin going around the outside, trying to thread the gap there for Nikovic. There was a shout for a handball there from the Wanderers. Kurt Hams not interested.
Well, Amor Layuni's good again, isn't he? He stands up his defender, moves the ball. This is the shout for handball. Miller isn't even looking in the right direction. I don't think you can call that.
Layuni. Clare beyond him. Near post. I think it just smacked to Malfitano in the face somewhat, really. Couldn't get any control on it.
Wasn't too sure if it was for Malfitano or I think it was Beadling maybe coming in at the back post. So there, well, the face, difficult height.
It's almost like attack v defence on the training ground at the moment. Layuni again. Good feet to get into the penalty box. Marcelo sweeps it wide. Beadling drives it low. And Malfitano again was sniffing for that opportunity at the near post. The Bulls defend that one though.
Did well there. Tommy Oscock comes across that front post. You can see it's a wonderful ball into that danger area. Full stretch.
There's Ulysses Davila. I guess in a situation like this, he would have been a brilliant player to have on your team because he can just buy you those few seconds with his skill, his technique. And he's trying to play in Aliogla, but out comes Lawrence Thomas, who's probably a bit grateful to get involved. Marcelo, Amalfitano, Murchela, Layuni. Nice 1-2 with Nieuwenhof, building nicely here. Schneiderlin puts it into a pass, couldn't miss. Roman Amalfitano does have his goal. Just his second for Western Sydney Wanderers. And now they are too clear. That pressure has finally told on the Bulls.
Well, that's wonderful football from Western Sydney Wanderers. They've been moving the ball around for the last 30 minutes. The Harvey Norman replay shows it's that man, Amor Layuni, again with a little 1-2 give and go. It really creates the first opportunity. Lovely turn there. And then there's a lay goes out to the left. Malfitano is perfectly positioned to tuck it away into the far corner, but it's a wonderful turn from Borrello. Schneidling involved, the composure to put it into the path of Amalfitano, who duly does the rest. And there's nothing that Curto can do about that.
The French connection certainly suits the Wanderers. Silva waving away that run from Matt Miller, which was trapped by Amalfitano. Good turn by Ivan Vujica. He's the left back, remember. This is the number 10 in that attack. And a challenge from behind by Bacchus. Kurt Ams has got a check on the welfare of the Wanderers player, but has allowed play to continue. Miller across the face. That could so easily have gone in. It's going to be a Bulls corner, and the Wanderers are holding a bit of an inquisition with Kurt Ams as to why he didn't blow for a foul.
Well, I'm wondering the same thing here as we see on the replay. Ninkovic just dinks the ball around the corner. Bacchus seems to clearly contact with him. He asks him, is he okay, and then allows play to go on. A real rush of the blood to the head for Craig Noon has really put his team under the pump. It's been a training exercise for Western Sydney on breaking down a fixed defence, an organised defence. So far they're winning that battle.
Is there a third before the break for the Wanderers? 2 additional minutes are up. Fleur out off Vujica. Is there going to be time for the corner to be taken? Looks as though there might be. Bulls know they must survive it. Schneidlin to take. He's got 1 assist already. A jockey for position. Schneidlin towards the near post, and Bacchus was there, and that is half-time. Well, the first 5 minutes really have been pivotal. Brandon Borrello with the opening goal after 3 minutes, and then just 2 minutes after that, Craig Noon seeing red for a challenge from behind on Gabriel Clerc. Romain Amalfitano added a second on 37 minutes. The Wanderers have really taken the Bulls by the horns, you could say, and they're looking well set to repeat that big win that they got over Macarthur on New Year's Day. 2 clear at the break. Western Sydney Wanderers 2, Macarthur 0. So the Wanderers looking to move level on points with the Mariners in second on the A-League ladder. Those two face off here in Parramatta next week. That'll be some game.
Well, it will be an exciting game, and I think Western Sydney Wanderers should be looking tonight to get as many goals and increase that goal difference as much as possible tonight. Going to get an opportunity very often to play 85 minutes against an opposition. Really need to take that. The goal difference could be a real factor towards the end of the season with the tightness of this league this year. Could be the difference between home games, travelling away.
Well, just to make the finals would certainly be success of a sort for the Wanderers. They haven't been in the end of season playoffs since 2016-17. It's of course the scene of Macarthur's greatest triumph in their short history, winning the Australian Cup in October last year. Borrello, strong run as per usual. Amalfitano went with the outside of the boot. It's Layuni. Sort of swung a leg at it, and Curto prevents the corner, or does he know?
Well, that is the danger for Macarthur. Commit more players forward. I was just about to say before they lost the ball, this is probably the most possession they've had in the match for an extended period. I think when you give that ball away, there will be some space at the back for Western Sydney to maraud forward into.
Attacking the red and black block end of the ground. Wanderers corner, Schneiderlin's delivery. And it pumps and wide by Macarthur, and did take a flick off a Bulls defender. Another corner, Western Sydney.
Corner. It's Thomas Beadling who just miscued his header. Yeah, you can see there.
Bulls back on their home deck next week against Brisbane Roar. They too face the Mariners 5 days after that. Ewan Hoff, Brandon Borello, narrow angle, held up by Curto. Leuni, after he was teed up by the perseverance and persistence of Callum Nieuwenhof, and Curto called into action.
Another great run from Borello, pace and power. Curto called into the first save and a little bit lax there in defence, and Curto again with the second save, keeping his team in the contest.
Fancy this might be a penalty. Sushniyar did not see Nieuwenhof on the blind side and kicked through the Wanderers midfielder. Kurt Amps in conversation with Chris Beath in the VAR room. He's made one big decision in favour of the Wanderers in the early part of the game. He's had 5 or 6 different looks at it from different angles. What's the verdict? Penalty. Now the next thing is there going to be some sanction for Sushniyar? There has been a yellow card shown to someone on the Bulls bench. Jacob Burns, we understand. Kurt Amps is not happy that there's some encroachment in the box. And finally, after that long delay, we're ready to go in front of the red and black block. It's Morgan Schneiderlin, and he has his first goal for Western Sydney Wanderers. Runs to celebrate with those in red and black behind the goal. And Marco Redan's team have 3 goals and surely now 3 points.
Well, it's a goal for Morgan Schneiderlin, but it's a goal due to the persistence of Callum Nieuwenhof. The Harvey Norman replay shows clearly there, gets his foot in front of Alex and Sushniyar. Schneiderlin steps up, wonderful penalty. Curto goes the right way, but enough elevation to put it away.
He almost gets a glove on that, doesn't he, Curto? Gets the right way, but too much power.
Well taken, lifted it sufficiently enough. And the game really does have a feel now of how many for Western Sydney.
Jared Carluccio is going to be with us for the Wanderers' next break in play. Fleur into the box, Nieuwenhof! It's 4! And Callum Nieuwenhof has goals in back-to-back matches for Western Sydney Wanderers.
Well, I'm not too sure that was the pass that was intended, but they were lining up. Harvey Norman replay will show they shift the ball from one side to the other, and as Macarthur are trying to get across, there's 2-3 Western Sydney attackers in a row. Ninkovic just overruns it. Nieuwenhof holds his run, and it's a sublime finish, tucks it away in the bottom corner. And they're enjoying themselves tonight. Nice finish, composed, almost very similar to last week for Nieuwenhof. Found himself unmarked in the box.
And Milanovic has got away from Sushniyar. Could they make it 5? He just ever so slightly overran it, didn't he, Nicholas Milanovic?
Was about to release a strike or a cross. It was a great run and a lovely ball in behind, and just as you thought he was about to cross or strike, he just had a heavy touch.
Boskatanis. Play on, says Kurt Amps. Wilbering. Final 60 seconds. And the Bulls ending really as they started. Finding it very difficult to get out of their own half. Ulysses Davila cutting a lone figure in the stands. Total silence on the Bulls bench. But it all went wrong for them very, very early tonight. All the plans that Milos Stojovski would have worked upon during the week, all to no avail when you find yourself a goal down and a man down after just 5 minutes, which they did. And as it was on New Year's Day, in the end, so it turns out to be again for Western Sydney Wanderers. Another 4-0 win against the Bulls. Their joint biggest home wins of the season. The two old playing colleagues share a friendly word, or at least I hope it's friendly. But it's the Bulls who are put to the sword once again in Parramatta. The Wanderers with just their third win in 12 games, and a vital one at that as they move back into joint second alongside the Mariners. That row between Aspro Potamitis and Amalfitano continues on the field. As for the Bulls, well, they continue on the slide. 3 losses in 5 now under Milos Stojovski, and they remain out of the final spots for another week at least. Borrello and Amalfitano's excellent tonight. Morgan Schneidlin with his first for the club from the penalty spot, and Callum Nieuwenhof with his second in 2 games. Marco Rudan doesn't look too happy. He knows Sam Kresovic, the CEO, of course, of the Bulls very, very well. He was his boss at Sydney United. It does end in a hug. I don't quite know why he's in such a bad mood. His team has been very, very good tonight. An evening to remember for the Wanderers, and certainly one to forget for the Bulls after that early dismissal of Craig Noone. Full-time scoreline in Parramatta. Western Sydney Wanderers 4, Macarthur 0.